Hey guys, in this video we buy the best striker on FM24. No joke, this guy scored 12 goals in 4 games. He scored 5 goals in one of those games. He's absolutely insane, and go ahead and watch the rest of the video because we spent all of our transfer money on him. Go ahead and watch it and let me know what you think of this striker. Let's begin with me showing you how we did since last episode. We played already a couple of games because we had a very busy August. You can see here that we won the Community Shield against Arsenal, beating them 2-0, which was very nice. Didn't really matter for us if we were to win this, but we did win it. So that's another piece of silverware in our cabinet, which is very nice. Then after that we played Norwich, which we beat 6-1, and we beat Sporting in the UEFA Super Cup 3-0, which is very nice. As you can see, our new signing Sesko right there doing wonders for us, and you might see someone else there, and I'm going to show you him in a little bit. Anyway, as you can see, we've been doing pretty well, but who left the club and who stayed at the club and who did we bring in? Let's just jump straight into those signings before I show you anything else. Let's first start off with a player that I've been loaned out, Kenny Sutton, who we brought in for 30 million from Hoffenheim. He's been loaned out to Bournemouth. This guy is already really good, but he just needs some playing time, and at Bournemouth he's definitely getting that. 6 games already, didn't miss a game, so very happy. Bournemouth are actually also first in the Sky Bet Championship, which is very good to see. I hope Kenny Sutton will play all the games and will really develop there at Bournemouth. Then other players I wanted to show you are mainly wonder kids. Let's start with the cheapest one, Bruce Matamelela from a South African side, Super Sport United. Looking like a very good wonder kid. I may already showed him on 10k a week, very good potential. He's been immediately been loaned out to Everton as well, playing all the games right there, so very happy that he's there. I think Everton are paying all of its wages. Yeah, they are paying a lot of wages, so that's good, although his contract isn't that expensive. So that's the first player that we brought in and immediately loaned out. Then Christian Norholt didn't actually manage to loan this guy out, unfortunately, which was a bit shame, but this guy is going to be very good for us if he can get some playing time. Could be a nice rotational player. Bought him in for 4 million. Looking very good, 17 determination, 17 tackling, needs to increase his heading, but I hope that while he's playing for us for our under 21s and maybe can get loaned out in January, he will get a lot of playing time, which he needs to develop even better, and otherwise 4 million is a steal. Then next player on this list is Sebastian Noir. And Noir I really like. I was almost considering keeping this guy, but he has 18 technique, so he still that's the only really good technical that he has that he needs to develop in. Other than that, he is pretty good. If he really wants to be a ball winning midfielder, he needs to improve his marking and tackling, and the only way he was going to do that was going out on loan. So he went out on loan to West Ham now, and I see they're not playing him a lot, so I hope he gets a lot more playing time. Unfortunately, he did get banned for 3 matches, so I think that's one of the reasons that he didn't play. 20 aggression isn't always good on a player who doesn't really know how to tackle, so I'm really interested how this guy will develop. He has a very unique set of skills, so I'm not sure if he will be a very good player, but the 10 million that we paid for him is definitely something that we can get back from him straight away, so that's good to see. Then our second biggest wonderkid signing was Rodrigo Gonzalez, and look how good this guy already is. I showed you him last episode. 18 technique, 19 passing, 17 first touch and 16 dribbling. Take that with 16 decisions, 18 flair, 16 of the ball, 17 vision, and very good physicals means that this guy is already very good, and that meant that we kept him around, and he's actually our backup advanced midfielder, attacking midfielder, so he's going to be playing a lot whenever I get the chance. So very happy that we got him in, and hope he can even improve a lot more than he already is. Then our second, or our most expensive wonderkid signing, Anthony Negreiros. This guy is the real deal. Also known amount, driven personality, 18 determination, very good physicals. He's lacking a bit in the leadership of the ball, teamwork, etc. But I don't think that matters because he has everything that he needs in the mental department to be a very good center back. Paid a lot of money for him. He's playing for Leicester at the moment, loaned out, and they're paying like a lot of his wages. I think almost all of it, yeah, and even more money. So very nice to see him getting some playing time there, and he will probably be in our team in a season or 1 or 2. I don't think he's going to be away for the main team a long time because he's almost already ready to come in and be a starter for us. And then, of course, last season we brought in a very big signing because we had the money for it, Benjamin Sesko. And Benjamin Sesko is insane. This guy is this is what you need in FM. This guy has it all. Like a holy trinity of 16, 15 and 15 for dribbling, finishing and first touch. Great mentals, great physicals, 194. And the most important thing is 16 heading and 18 jumping reach is just insane in this Football Manager 24 this year. Just being tall, being a tall striker really helps, and this guy has it all. Very expensive contract, but just look at this guy. 4 games, 12 goals already in the Premier League, which is absolutely insane. 9 average rating. If we also go and take a look at the Premier League, you see he is a top scorer with 12 goals. So he's only played 4 games, already scored 12 goals. He's probably not going to keep it up, but if he is, I am going to be so happy with this signing. Anyway, those were all the signings we made last season. Now let's jump into the new season because it cuts off, I think, around the 1st of July, and then all the new players come in, so there's a lot more to show you. So I have 5 big sales to show you, but the first one is actually William Brown. This guy didn't really have a lot of potential for us. He's an okay player, but West Ham wanted to pay 5.7 million for him, which could lead up to 50 million. So I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and just get rid of him. So William Brown is out. Didn't really know, wasn't really gonna play anywhere for us. His physicals aren't good enough, but West Ham really wanted him, so I just let him go. The next player that left our club is Isaac Hansen Aronson. He left to Aston Villa for 30 million. I am more than happy with that. This guy is a good championship player, but just not good enough to play in the Premier League for a club like us. So was happy to let him go. Bought him in for 500k, I think, even before I started as manager. So sold him off for 30 million, which meant that we had a lot extra money to spend. And then the next player let go was Milinkovic-Savic, and I was really happy about how he performed last season. But then Real Madrid came in and they wanted to pay me 32 million, and that's a 32 million just profit for a 32-year-old. So I decided it was good for me to just let him go. Milinkovic-Savic to Real Madrid. Very happy that he was here for that one season, but now he's out. Our second most expensive sale for this season was Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford left for 60 million to Real Madrid, and as you can see, last season he wasn't playing that much. He was earning 350k a week, which is just way too much for just to justify someone who is a backup. Of course he's good, but he doesn't really play very well when we need him, so in big games. So managed to just let him go. He only had 1 year left on his contract, so very happy that he left. Marcus Rashford left to Real Madrid. I think that fits him. He can play there against lesser teams, and then in big games I hope he just doesn't perform, because he didn't perform either for us. But anyway, Manchester United legend Marcus Rashford has left the club. And then our most expensive sale, Hassan Ouedraogo. Goodbye. This guy is insane. Like he could get even better. You know, we now all know the potential of him. 16 dribbling, 16 first touch, 16 passing, 16 technique. Insane player physically, mentally, and very tall player as well. Brought him in for 50 mil from Schalke and actually sold him for 85 million, which with add-ons could go up to 108, which is insane. He wasn't going to be a starter for us. He was going to be a backup player, but as a backup player, getting 85 million for him already was insane. So I just decided I had to let this guy go. So Hassan Ouedraogo, I don't know how to pronounce it. We sold him, and eventually we'll get like a 90 million profit on this guy. So very, very nice that the first of the wonder kids that we brought in is now actually giving us some money, and that money we spent on 2 other players. And both of those players came from Benfica, the first one being Jurriën Timber. He was let go by Arsenal last season. They just sold him on with a little bit of profit, but I think this guy has a lot of potential, so I brought him in. 61 million for Jurriën Timber as a backup ball playing defender, but he can play anywhere where we need him, also as a defensive midfielder, right or left back, which is very nice. And this guy has it all, if you could say. Like, technically he has 15s and a 13 for heading, not being that tall, but physically very good, and mentally he's insane. So very happy to have him in as a backup. Pretty expensive contract, but we just needed some more backup because last season we just had so many injuries, and that may have costed us the Premier League title. But this year we have a lot more rotation. That was one thing you always saw me complaining about last season, and that was the goalkeeping position. And I have replaced our starting goalkeeper Simon with Antonoli Trubin. He was at Benfica after being bought from Shakhtar. We brought him now in for 75 million. He was valued a lot more, but eventually he wanted to leave, and Benfica accepted 75 million straight on. So very happy with this guy, being in. We now loaned out Simon, and we have Dean Henderson as our backup, but this guy is definitely our starting number one. 19 jumpy reach, 19 aerial reach, 16 handling. Just a very, very, very good goalkeeper, which is definitely Champions League quality, Champions League final quality, and Premier League top quality. So very happy with this guy. 75 million is a steal in this market. So Anthony Trubin on a very expensive contract for a goalkeeper in for the coming 4 years. And other than that, I still wanted to show you two more signings that we made. Konrad Leimer, of course, on a free contract, is now our backup fullback for 2 years. He's only playing for us for 2 years. Very expensive contract, so I hope that after those 2 years he will leave as well. Or maybe it's 3. We'll see about that. But very happy to have him in. Hopefully he will just do fine as that squad player status that we gave him. And then also Warren Zaïre-Emery. Actually wanted to loan this guy out, but eventually no one really wanted him, so he's going to get some playing time in the under 21s, and then whenever we need him for our main team. Very happy to have him in. A very good wonder kid. Hope he can still develop. Got him in on a free from Paris because they didn't want to renew his contract, so very happy to have Warren Zaïre-Emery in. And then as well, I have of course loaned out a ton of players. You can see them all right here. Some of them with some fees that we get some extra money from them, and the most noteworthy one is, I think, Claudio Echeverri. Brought this guy in at the beginning of the series. He isn't really going to be a first team player, so I actually wanted to sell him on, but no one wanted him, so I decided to loan him out again so he can get some playing time and earn some more interest in him, hopefully. Then Nipan also loaned him out. Very noteworthy player we brought in. Went to Arsenal first, now to Chelsea. I hope he can get some playing time. I think he's going to be a backup player for us. I don't think he's ever going to be a starter, but I just hope he can develop a little bit more at Chelsea and then come back and be that backup that we need. And other than that, just a lot of different youngsters that we have loaned out, so nothing really noteworthy anymore. And with all of that said and done, we still have 75 million in transfer budget left, and I couldn't really get any wonder kits because you can only buy 6 from outside of Europe, so I may spend this money on some English wonder kits. I'm not quite sure about that yet. However, we are doing very well finance wise now. We are 230 million in positive budget, and we haven't been that after a transfer season, so very happy with that. Our debts and loans have also shrunken a lot. We almost don't have anything left, which is very good to see. However, our wages did go back up again. We are now at 5.8, so that's almost as high as when we started. But of course now we are clean with the debts. We have good income when it comes to our finances, and each year we are reaching that Champions League stage, and that gives us like a lot more money, you wouldn't believe. And other than that, of course, we're also getting in a lot of money from our sponsors, like 105 million per year for our sponsors, then 69 million 69 for other things, main kit. Like, we're getting a lot of money in, which is good to see, but hopefully we can just start growing our transfer budget and eventually really start buying some big players, which makes it easier for us to stay on the top of Europe. And again, what I'll be doing is I'll be simming through to January, and you'll be seeing how we are gonna do in the Champions League. We have Paris, Sporting, Vigo, Braga, Inter, Porto, Slavia Prague and Ajax, which is pretty tough, but I think we should be able to manage. If we beat Paris, I think we should be good already, so the rest should be a walk in the park, but of course, you never know. In the FA Cup we haven't been drawn yet, in the Carabao Cup we have been drawn against Watford, the UEFA Super Cup we have won, and the English Community Shield have won, and the team currently is looking like this. So if we go to the main squad, it looks like this. Iheanacho and Hincapi as fullbacks, Lucaba and Scalvini in the middle of defense, Neves and Romero still in the middle of our midfield as the defensive midfielders, Musiala as our advanced midfielder, Darvic and Kvaratskhelia on the flanks, and Sesko as an advanced forward in the attack. Very good to see. Then on the bench we have Konrad Leimer, Jurjen Timber, Mark Banal, Valentin Barco, who's still here. Really impressed with this guy. Whenever he plays very good. So very happy with him and his versatility. Then we have Anibal Moreno, the Argentinian defensive midfielder who we brought in, but actually he can leave. But it's good to have him in. Then Dewsbury Hall, Simon Pafundi, who lost his starting squad when Darvic came in, but he still, whenever he played very well for us. Then Rodrigo Gonzalez, of course, the wonder kid, already played 2 games for us. He is on the bench always. Then Højlund on the bench as our advanced forward. In the reserves, Rooney, Bargi as well. And then we still have a lot of talent here. Ben Stardai, Christian Noord, Sjoikvist, a couple of wonder kids that we brought in, and Luciano, who actually I wanted to loan out because this guy could be a very good striker, but unfortunately he got injured for 2 to 4 months, so we couldn't really do anything with that. And then also on the bench, Garnacho. Want to get rid of this guy because he is not good enough to play for us. He played for Paris last season and he did very well, but no one wanted him this season, so I'm just looking to sell him on. And of course McTominay, who we are always going to keep here for this wage, and of course he's homegrown, so very nice to have him as a backup. Anyway, that's the team. For now, I'll be swinging forward to the beginning of the January transfer window. I will be back, I will show you how we've done, and I will show you what kind of transfers we made in that season. And other than that, there's one more thing I wanted to show you. If you can ever get your hands on this guy, get your hands on him, because 12 goals in 4 games is absolutely insane. Benjamin Sesko is the name. Whenever you have 130 million living around, get this guy immediately. Anyway, that's all for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next one. For now, take care.